So there's some lovely bird song kicking off at the moment. It's a bit of a shame to sully it with my awful truth. And you know, people might say, well, don't, but I don't know, I can't really help myself sometimes. I reckon all of this could have been averted if people had just talked about it. You know, people had just had the courage, because it actually does take courage to just talk about ugly things that were going on. You know, there was a meme or whatever you call it, saying like, if, oh, what did it say? Something about 7 billion, you know, if 7 billion did this, then, you know, 7 billion asked, what can I do? And I left a comment saying, well, 7 billion say, no, what was it? I said, and then the 7 billion thought to themselves, I don't want no trouble. I can't remember anyway, something like that. But yeah, anyway, like all of this could have been averted probably if people just didn't partake and if they just spoke about ugly things that were going on. So I see these normie videos about targeting and the you know, all the naysayers and that just reading their comments and stuff, they'll say things like, oh, it's so sad, you know, you know, targeted individuals, like, it's so sad, it's so real for them. The things they talk about, it is their reality. And while they're admitting this, they still think it's somehow a delusion. You know, and other comments will say things like, you know, their decline, like I used to know someone like this, and their decline is very real. It's so sad watching them go downhill. And it's like, I left a comment to reply saying, yeah, well, that's what, you know, long-term exposure to microwaves will do to the body, to massive amounts of frequencies and EMFs. It's inevitable that you're going to be, you know, degraded. It would be like supernatural to not be degraded by, you know, obviously unhealthy levels of EMFs and radio frequencies. And then these fucking oblivious normies, they'll say stuff like, oh, their mood. Oh, that's what he said, yeah. It turned out like the person they knew who had the big mental decline and was a schizophrenic or whatever, it turned out they had a brain tumour, and that was why their mood changed. Oh, it's all the brain tumour, then they scapegoat the tumour, you know, for everything. I'm sorry if this is a triggering thing. I don't like to hear about health. I really should have given a trigger warning at the start, but I forgot. It's really hard to remember everything. But yeah, they'll fucking scapegoat the tumour, and then all the family will probably get on board. You know, this is how it usually goes. And you know, they only found out later, you know, later in the thing. Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, hang on a minute. What caused the brain tumour? Could it be like the fact that their head was being blasted with frequencies for years? Oh no, that was all a delusion. That's all a delusion. They just got endless, hey buddy, they got endless shit to blame it all on, you know. Blame it on the trauma trapped in the body, blame it on the, was Daniel Mackler's thing? Oh, your trauma generates electricity onto your skin or something. And hence all the static electricity. Nothing to do with like external towers beaming it onto you. You know, I kind of repeat myself, I know, but it's just in case a normie would see this video and be like, well, why do you assume it's to do with technology? And And I would say because I've only had that external enormous amounts of static electricity accumulating on my body when I'm in the city or the farmland where there are cell towers, and then when I get into the backcountry I can wear polyester without any static electricity accumulating at all, like none. So it's clearly something to do with the infrastructure. But yeah, it's just got like endless stuff to pin it on, you know, to pin the blame on, to divert the attention away from the technologies. You know, I know my family will cover it up. They'll just go along with, you know, what they're meant to say, like, oh, I should have asked for help and all this. And, you know, they're totally under some sort of mind control, whatever it is. It's a pretty beautiful sight. Looks pretty natural for the city centre, doesn't it? I think it was that redwood there got struck by lightning about a year ago. It's pretty rare here, fork lightning. Had an epic fork lightning storm last winter. About 3 AM there was probably about 50, maybe about 30 strikes of lightning. That's where I saw that old targeted individual guy. He was raving wildly. You know, the government have chipped me, and so he's got this very grandiose, like thespian sort of voice. And I think they let him roam because he just randomly accuses people of watching porn on their phones. So, you know, he looks like the cliche crazy man, so he's probably serving a purpose. I guess that's why he's allowed to orbit the city for years, you know, talking about real shit, but then adding the crazy in as well. I'd say sort of like Ike and the reptilians, but I know there are people that, you know, truly think the reptilians are a real thing, and who knows? I don't know. I don't know anything for sure. I mean, yeah, the reptilian side of the brain thing, obviously, left side of the brain and all that, but I don't know if they're really like rep lords and, you know, pixelated shapeshifters and whatnot. It's not just the TV shitting itself or the internet connection shitting itself. But yeah, it turned out, I heard from another guy that I trust, he's a pretty cool sort of free-spirited indie kind of guy. I heard that old targeted individual guy, yeah, I heard his father was a psychiatrist. So I thought, I said to the guy, he doesn't know any of my situation, but I said to the guy, fuck, he's probably probably was true what he was talking about. The old guy went on about being chipped, and if his old man was an old quack, you know, maybe it's quite possible. He was adopted apparently, so kind of makes it even more likely. Not that people wouldn't do it to their own children, you know, there are parents out there like that. Don't know what the audio's like. I try to get everything pretty nice, pretty calming, because I truly resonate with anyone who's got an obliterated nervous system, and you know, I don't want to add any stress to that. Damn nice bird song. Another veteran of the park. Another one-legged one. This is a pretty random sight today in the park. There was a pigeon that was beheaded and left on the lawn, and you know, it's one of those situations where you could be like, the cabal sent me a message, ooh. But I don't know, it might have just been a really fucked up seagull that decided to like behead it and just leave it as some sort of, like, I don't know, a warning to the other pigeons not to be like bird feeder man's fucking delivery service, sending out messages to humanity. I don't know, it's just kind of bizarre. It was like a, you know, it takes a bit to like cut through the bloody neck of a pigeon. There's quite a big bone in it. I don't know, I'm pretty gormless, I don't get any messages, but I really have to fucking spell it out. Write me a fucking letter, you know, if it is some metaphorical thing. I remember my window, there's a video I posted where my window fractured. My like 1,000-pound braking force double glazed window, and it fractured like the day after I made this post on NZ Psychologist's Facebook page about neuroweapons and the gaslighting of the victims. And yeah, my window just mysteriously like fractured, and I was in the house at the time, and I was, how do I say it, that window was within my view at the time, and nothing hit it, and it was the internal glazing, the one inside the house that fractured. I don't know if they like dewed it, but I know like occasionally, you know, very occasionally they'll break from heat. It's just hard to believe here. It doesn't get that hot. And the timing is like, was, you know, very peculiar, like the day after I make this post. Get censored and shut down, you know, multiple reports of that from the people in the Psychologist page, and I've now disabled the comments for everyone on that page. There's no function there to be able to do that anymore. I kind of repeat stories a bit like, you know, I don't know if everyone watches every video. I mean, you know, who has the time for that? Most people don't, so occasionally I just repeat things, but that was really bizarre in that Facebook page when I left that comment, and then I left that post rather about the neuroweapons and the gaslighting of the victims, and then this military contractor guy, this guy who claimed to have worked for the military designing, like, engineering weapons, he arrived an hour later, and he you know, proceeded to like flash his pay slip. He put a screenshot of his pay slip proving who he was, and then he went on to like undermine me and say, oh, that couldn't be real and all this sort of stuff. And I asked him what kind of weapons he was working on. He admitted he wasn't working on, like, you know, directed energy and stuff. But it was just bizarre how he turned up there, the timing. And then, you know, me and him had a back and forth for about 30 messages, 30 comment replies, and I was holding my own pretty well. You know, I was going on about the ZZ saying and organised stalking of activists and blah blah blah, and you know, he was going like, why would they do it to you? And I was saying, well, you know, anyone who's been a long-term activist, it's obviously an agenda to silence them and make them look crazy and blah 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 blah. And I was quite enjoying it because it was good exposure. But then he deleted his original comment replies, so all the replies were lost. But a lot of people saw it, I think, because there are a few comments. One was even in support of me. She was a psychologist woman, and she said that she'd been gaslighted from up top, like the psychologists were getting gaslighted from those who run the organisation, you know, at the top of the pyramid, which is pretty typical. Isn't that right? Lord Black Paradise, eh? It's the CEO who's behind it all, isn't he? But yeah, that one got shut down apparently, you know, too many people reporting it. I made about 2 other posts in that group, and it is quite emotionally taxing, you know. I'm not a robot. It's not nice to you know, have some military guy appear, and then, you know, that alone is quite fucking spooky. And then, you know, you have all the what ifs running through your mind. And I messaged that guy as well, and I said, what's the deal, man? How did you just appear? And then he told me, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to help you. I was just trying to help and all this. I'm like, oh, yeah. And he told me he wanted to be a psych nurse. And I thought, this is kind of weird, you know, people from the military going into like to be a psych nurse as well. It's just kind of people who have worked on military weapons, and then to go and be a psych nurse, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like not confirming, you know, but it does kind of add weight to the whole, like, the military and then the mind control and then psychiatry connection thing. That mother duck? Whap. It's quackery, isn't it? Fuck, they're cruel ducks, these paradise ducks. Fucking cruel. Fucking king of the castle, motherfuckers. Gotta, like, claim an enormous territory. Big bill corporate motherfuckers, fuck off. Man, it's frustrating, eh? Get out of it, loosh farmer. Go on, scoot. Oh man. They're damn athletic, I've got to give them that, eh? They're so acrobatic, these ducks, and they're a protected species, of course, so you can't do anything to them. It's pretty typical for the you know, the monstrous in this world. They're well protected. I think you are able to shoot them in May and June, I think. Yeah, they're not all scumbags. There's some nice ones too. Kind of vary duck to duck. Yeah, it's been a while since I've just done one of these, like walking around at dusk and just giving my diseased fucking free verse ramble. I find it kind of therapeutic anyway. It's nice to be heard. It's nice to speak your mind out and then put it somewhere where someone might actually give a shit. Sick of casting my tinfoiled pearls before NPCs. It says Christmas in the park, you can probably hear. I don't know if you can hear that noise. They got these big square grey LRAD kind of panels on poles with a shit ton of cables going into them and all these big amp looking things on the pole, and they're pointed at the crowd, where the crowd's going to be tomorrow night. They got two of them, big like 50 centimetre by 50 centimetre panels, pretty near each other. A big fucking generator, like 2 meters long by 1 meter by 1 meter, like a trailer, you know, a generator on a trailer. And they got another generator, and then this Christmas, they've got a big fucking pole cell tower thing as well there, portable one at the park, kind of like you see in the street. They look a bit like a what do you call it, an earbud, you know, like the thing to clean out your ear. They look like one of them, like a cylinder on a fucking stick, but it's about 1 meter long, you know, the top grey part on a big fucking pole. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I hope they're not going to, you know, irradiate the crowd too badly. I tended to save up my pennies and invest in some 9-volt batteries for my EMF meter and go there tomorrow and see what happens. See what the readings are like, but those 9-volt batteries aren't cheap. It's damn nice here this time of night anyway, when no one's around. It's just fucking good. I don't know if it's all the humans now or the ones who got the loaded medical thing giving off like a signal. That's one thing I've heard. It was on like BitChute. I forget the channel name. Infinite Corridors. He mentioned the guy in a video. But yeah, this guy was saying, you know, people were giving off a Wi-Fi signal, and if that is the case, that would probably explain why I just feel like very, my balance is off when I'm in a mall or a supermarket, a busy one, you know. The busier it is, the more fucking bombarded, like my brain feels. I'm not a very sensitive guy anymore, but it is noticeable, and then when I go out to the farmland, away from everything, I do notice a lot more mental clarity. They always survive pretty well. I think they only lost one this year. So they've all got to go off in probably about a month and a half and find their territories, you know, claim a territory for themselves and defend it. They're pretty tough duck, man. They just beat the living shit out of each other when the males, when they're having a turf war. I saw two of them going at it for like probably about 4 full minutes, just, you know, facing up to each other and beating the shit out of each other with their shoulders, the front of their wings, hitting each other in the chest. It almost went to the death. And even the internet's becoming a lonelier place. I've probably got 150 people I'm subscribed to, and you know, it's only about 5 people regularly making videos, and most of those are like, you know, 8 hours of nervous system fucking restoring melodies or whatever. It's almost a full moon up there. I wonder if like music helps you guys who have the V2K, if you can drown it out or not. I just get the ringing and I can kind of drown that out with headphones and music, but my MP4 players keep breaking, so I have to buy like a couple of them every, you know, probably about one a month. You know, I know they're shittily built. I don't know if I can blame that on all the magnetic shit fuckery. I don't know. I thought I might download like the Bloodsport and Kickboxer soundtracks, because I watched oh sorry bird, I watched, what was it, Bloodsport 2 the other day, and it had me quite motivated. Can't remember the guy's name. It wasn't Van Damme, it was like Daniel Bernhard or something. It's kind of cool, those old 80s movies. They're way more fucking motivational and uplifting than you know, the movies now. The idea seems to be to like demoralize us and, you know, degenerate us rather than you know, motivate us to like working out and stuff. Don't even know where I fucking watch those movies again, other than what I find on YouTube. Probably have to like download them illegally or something. Anyways, time's about up on this video. That music's not too bad, because it's not like some really insidious fucking, I don't know, just bass and stuff. It's quite natural sounding. Hey ducks. Hey, it's you.